Hey guys, this is Joseki bringing you an audio commentary. This audio is copyrighted 2007 WCReplays.com, so please do not go stealing it, or something bad might happen to you, whatever that may be. Maybe your granny will get hit by a car, and her limb will fly off and smack you in the face, and you'll get a mild concussion, which results in the numbing of your left hand, making it incapable of you to get more than 70 APM in a Warcraft game. I don't know, but something horrible will happen to you if you steal this audio, so don't do it. You can get the replay loaded up at the 2-minute mark, by the way. 2-minute mark. I'm just going to keep talking. I'll talk for another couple minutes so you can get there. And the Riflecaster strat's been around since, God knows when. Since the dawn of time, human has been using the Riflemen. Since the dawn of time. 12 billion years ago when the dinosaurs were created, Todd was microing Riflemen. Okay. But basically, I'm just trying to say, this is a really old strategy. The strategy we're going to do for right now in this game is a 3-farm tech with no Arcane Tower versus Elf. Archmage, MK, 4 or 5 foots. I don't remember what I do. Usually it's 5. You make a lumber mill, a smith, a vault, and 2 extra farms during your tech. And you go rifles, and you creep a good level MK, and you just control the game. You do your creeping, and then you just win with your micro and fights. It is, in my opinion, don't go flaming me, the most micro-intensive strategy in Warcraft 3. Microing rifles, priests, sorks, breakers, AM, MK, versus a mana-burning DH, Naga, Bear, Dryad. It is hard. It is very hard to keep your units alive. It's very hard to have the right positioning, to have the right timings, and to have the right opportunistic tactics with your MK or whatever hero, with your MK or with your AM to be doing the right things. It's hard to keep your heroes alive a lot of the time because Dryad, Naga, DH with Orb, MK, AM, ouch, in the face, So it's a very micro-intensive strategy, and a good friend of mine, Vex Marquise, once said to me that if I want to get my micro up, I should go into ladder and I should just play tons of games using Riflecaster, because it really is a strategy that focuses entirely on micro and less on timing. I think as Warcraft players in modern times, we often look too hard into timing. Timing is a very, very important thing in Warcraft, do not get me wrong. And timing also can oftentimes trump micro in fights. You can lose to a player with worse micro than you if their timing and strategy was better, and if you did not counter them accordingly. I'm not saying micro is the entire game, but I am saying that Warcraft oftentimes is about 90% micro. If you lost, it's probably because of your micro. And playing a strategy like this as a human player, all of you humans who listen to this and ladder, if you don't ladder, I don't even know what to tell you. If you just listen to my audios and expect to be good, I don't really know what to tell you. But I'm assuming many of you ladder, and if you do, I suggest making a Smurf or just using your main account versus Orc, Undead, and Night Elf. Make 1 Breaker, some Priest, 1 Sanctum, 1 Rex, Riflecaster, and see how it works. You're going to find that you have to be very aware, and you have to be very intent on keeping your units alive. You have to play your income advantage a lot more, because if you go over 50 food, that's a huge commitment with no expansion. And speaking of expansions, it teaches you when to make an expansion at Tier 2 when you haven't fast expanded or done an immediate Tier 2 expansion. So it's a very good strategy for learning the human race, how to work the human race, how to creep well, how to do everything. It's just an all-around, a solid strategy, and you're going to see me use it in just a bit. So I'm at the 2-minute mark. I'm at 2 minutes and 1 second, actually, because I'm a noob. And here we go. I'm going to unpause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. So yeah. So here comes my AM, who comes out. And I'm going to run over here with 3 militia. You want to creep this camp with 3 militia anytime. It's just a good number. It doesn't really affect your lumber income that much, and your timing works out very nicely with it. And then you just kill this, and over here, I'm assuming he's going to creep out with his AOW that first camp. And if that's the case, I'm not... And he didn't do an AOW creep, but I mean, he's not the best player, as I said, but I just think the game outlies the strategy very nicely. And I run over here, and I start focusing the Ogre Warriors, and I keep my peasants here until they become peasants, and then I send them back to my base. It's also a good idea to bring them to the second camp. They do add that little extra bonus damage that can just finish off the camp as fast as possible, because if the DH comes to harass you when you're there, you're going to have a really tough time, because you're not going to have the second water elemental you need, because he's going to mana burn you. So it's a very, very, very smart idea to just creep the camp as fast as you possibly can. If you look at my base, there's a little spot in the spawn above your gold mine where you can put your smith. It's very nice to be able to put your smith there, because it won't be interrupted by a harassing demon hunter. If the demon hunter runs into your base with immolation or whatever, starts chopping away, you can surround him very nicely in that little corner with militia. So it's a very good idea to put your smith up there. If you notice, I'm also building another farm, and right now I bought Boots of Speed and Dust of Appearance. This is a point I cannot stress enough. Most people, they do this. Even amateur players, they do it. You have to get Boots of Speed, and you have to get a Dust. Anytime you have an Intelligence hero versus Night Elf, or versus Undead, which is going to be almost at every game, because you're almost always going to be going Archmage. It's always a good idea to get Boots and Dust. It gives your AM a large survivability, and it lets you see invisible units, whether they have Cloak of Shadows or something. It could get you that one hero kill you need to clinch the game, so it's always a good call. Here I start focusing his Ancient Protector, but he comes to heal it, and the important thing is how I apply pressure here, by focusing his wisps the moment they come out. See, a few more wisps come out, and I'm going to focus them right away as soon as they get up to the Ancient Protector, because I'm not wasting time. I'm keeping all my footmen attacking, always, fighting. You don't want them to have that period of time where they're running and not attacking. You always want to have your footmen at least doing some sort of damage in fights. And that attributes largely to the positioning of you and your opponent. I did lose one footman, which is sort of my bad. I wasn't quite paying attention. I think I was macroing my base for a second. It's okay to lose a footman for good timing, I guess. That's the way I look at it. I needed to get a vault up pretty badly, so now I'm doing that. And I have my lumber mill, and as you can see, I built my first Rifleman, who is just chilling. 18 and 24 damage and 0 armor. What are you gonna do? He's nice, 505 HP. I believe they used to have 525 HP. They used to have more, but they got nerfed a little bit because I guess people thought they were too good, or I'm sure someone complained. They always manage to complain. Even me, fucking Night Elf. Okay. So, I'd start training my MK. The main thing about what I'm doing right now is I'm thinking, okay, what can I do to... I need to buy time for my MK to come out, because the problem with going this hero according to a Tavern hero is you can't push directly with an MK, because he has tier 2. He's making his lores. I can't go and push his base without a second hero, because he's going to have a Naga. So... generally speaking, I believe he goes KOTG this game, but I mean, generally speaking, the Night's gonna have a Naga. And if they have a Naga, you're not gonna be able to push them. Your units are gonna get focused one by one, and you're gonna lose all your units. You need your MK there to be able to bolt focus the Naga, or just start bolt focusing archers, because with even reasonable micro, they're really not gonna be losing anything having 2 heroes tier 1. Which leads me into talking about fight choosing. When you pick your fight, when you go, okay, I'm going to fight my opponent now, you need to look at a lot of things. You need to count. I usually count footmen in Human Mirror. I look at how many archers they have. If they have more than 4, I usually back off a little and I rethink it. I buy myself a little time. Just think about where you are in fights, because one bad fight could really ruin you the game in any case. My MK's out now, so I start creeping this camp, and basically this is kind of a creepy... There's a lot of creeping in the strategy, because a level 3 MK is so vastly superior to a level 1 MK. A level 2 MK is vastly superior to level 1 MK. Versus Night Elf, in your hero selection for your MK, you have 2 options. If you have an expansion, I recommend going Clap, and then buying mana potions, because you're going to get burned, and it's going to be really gay, no matter how you slice it. And you're really just not going to have the mana you need to be doing, to be casting that Clap, because you're going to get mana burn. You're not going to have the mana potions because you're going to be needing to make an army. But if you have an expansion, I'd say it's totally reasonable. Here I get a Rifleman entangled, but I do try and save it with my priests. Always make good use of priest healing. It's 25 healing per second, which is pretty brutal. Another thing you notice, I didn't TP here. There's a lot of people who I know who probably would have just TP'd to their base and chased him away. There's absolutely no reason to be using a TP. it's pointless. He wasn't going to be doing much damage. He was going to kill my shop. 130 gold.